Hey again guys, welcome back. Today I want to take a look at this thing. So this is a solar powered LED light which I bought actually probably like 7 or 8 years ago, probably when I first started buying stuff on eBay, long before the YouTube channel. This has just sat in a box actually since then, and I found it recently when I was tidying up a little bit, and it does not work anymore. It has a on-off switch here, which I'm looking for something to click it with. You need something kind of deep. Grab this LED here. Okay, you can probably hear the click there. I'll put it up next to the mic. So it is on, but it doesn't work, and I don't know if the NiCad in here is just dead. I don't know if this solar panel is not even real. I have no idea. So I figured we'd open it up, take a look, see how it works, and then maybe I'll go install it outside if it does work. Now, this is weird because this is from before the times where the PIR sensors got very, very popular and very, very cheap. So I believe this is a mic, and it lit up dim, and you had to clap or something to get it to turn on. But yeah, I don't know how far we'll be able to get into this because this is all potted in resin. There are screws, but I don't know if the screws will actually let us open anything or if it's just absolutely stuck shut by the resin. But we will see. So there is a little bit of damage here on the corner. This was bent in when I got it. Okay. Very interesting. So first of all, we see a little circuit board here. We'll have to take a closer look at what's going on there. These are the leads from the solar panel. And I can see that they gooped some stuff in there to stop the resin from coming through. Oh, and there's some hot glue all over the screw holes there. Okay, that's interesting. They did an attempt at waterproofing. They have a felt. That felt? Yeah, it's like a felty type washer here and around these screw posts. It doesn't go all the way down though. Not an ideal job. We do have a couple more screws here. So it looks like there's a couple screws holding this in. This could be... It could be a lithium cell or it could be a nickel metal hydride, but we'll have to see. Let's take these screws out. They look nearly identical to the other ones. I'm not sure if they are. See if we can get this to lift off. Oh, that's totally a microphone. There's our little switch. Oh, there's a couple pads not used here. A little blob chip. These screws have collars on them. Sort of clamp down. I'm guessing that's the circuit board with the LEDs. This is kind of before the cob LEDs, like the multiple LEDs on one substrate, was popular. I'm not expecting this to be high performance by any means. It seems to be loose. Lift that out. Yep, so these are just, looks like LEDs soldered down with each their own dropper resistor. Very nice. And then this is a housing with a sort of a diffuser. Sorry, headphone users. So yeah, not too complex. The interesting part will be if the solar panel actually functions. But for that, we'll have to see if there's any voltage left. If there's any voltage coming through. but it might be being pulled down by a dead battery, so I'm not sure. Let me just set this back up where it's a little higher up so we can see better, and I'll bring you back. I'm hoping this is a good viewing angle here. So the first thing I want to do, I think, is check the solar panel. Solar panel is going to be a little bit tricky. I don't really want to desolder it, so I'm going to bring in my uni-t meter here. 2 amps DC. I'm going to zero that out. So I'm going to put this over one of the cables here. There we go. Let's see. This is very bright, so I should be getting some current through here, and I am not. Okay. So it's possible that the electronics on here, actually I should put that back on. It's possible the electronics on here actually switch it off, because if it's open circuit, it won't, shouldn't give you anything. Okay, there you can see it there. Sort of. 3-4 milliamps, you can zero that out again. Then I can try flipping the switch on. 8 or 9 milliamps. Is that actually valid? Yeah. Might be getting a couple milliamps there. Okay. So I warmed up the soldering iron. I might just take off these wires and see if I can get a voltage off of them. Plus they'll be a little bit less unwieldy to work with if I can just desolder it. There we go, there's one. There's another. Good. All right. So that's good. Let's check our battery now. So our battery plus and battery minus are here and here. And for that, I've got this tiny little guy. Let's see. Battery plus, battery minus. Maybe in a way you can see it. Got it backwards. That's not a lot of voltage. I need to know kind of what kind of battery this is, because without knowing, there's no way for me to charge it. It does look like those little cell phone batteries that Big Clive has laying around, because it's sort of ovally, but I have seen some nickel metal hydride batteries in that form factor as well. Let's see what happens if we chop it up here. It would be nice if I could fit some good quality cylindrical cells in here, but we'll have to see what it came with first. Looking at the chips real quick. (8205A). Yeah, I don't know. There's not the usual bright power chips on board to indicate lithium. It's possible that if this is a lithium battery, it is already protected and therefore wouldn't need any protection. Hard to say. I still don't really know. This could be a nickel metal hydride, just like it can still be a lithium cell. Not sure. We'll have to see what the charging circuitry is like. there's B plus through a resistor to this button. Diode, where's this? Oh, it looks like it's charging via diode. See the solar plus? I'm not sure how well you can see that. But the solar plus comes in here through this diode, through this pin of the switch, then to this pin of the switch, and then to the battery plus, and the battery negative is on this side. Where's the solar negative is here. Looks like it's getting switched through this device. It looks like a MOSFET. Yeah, I think it's just charged by the solar panel through this MOSFET here, which is controlled by this chip-on blob, I would assume. There seems to be some circuitry here not installed. So that looks like U is like a microchip. Yeah, U1 here. So it's either this blob or that blob, I guess they use. Because they're both named U1. Very interesting. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing there. Could trace out the circuit, but that could be long. So it looks like if the switch is on, I should have continuity between here and here, which would give me my solar cell would come into this point here. So maybe I could charge it. It would just take a while. It's really hard to say. For the LEDs though, they seem to be going through. So this is the negative here. The positive comes through the board, through these vias. It looks like this transistor here activates them. The microphone right here. This looks like the ground plane. Hard to say. Looks like the microphone goes through an amplifier. Very interesting. I wish they would just turn on to let us know what's going on here. Maybe I'll desolder the battery. And maybe I'll give a little bit of juice there. Maybe just in case, maybe I'll do 1 point something volts. If this was a nickel metal hydride, it'd be 1.2 volts, and see what's going on. Let me just solder some wires to this battery terminal, and I'll bring you back. So I have the battery on the side here charging on my power supply. It's not looking good because I set the voltage to 1.4 and the current limit to 50 milliamps, and now it's sitting at 1.4 instantly without any current going into it. So it might actually be lithium, and actually the metal casing, I'll show you later, is a bit swollen. So I'm not sure if that's correct, but I'm going to try nickel metal hydride anyway. I don't think that these little solar cells can generate all that much voltage. We're going to check in a minute. But anyways, I've soldered a battery box for a nickel metal hydride, so I'm going to put in a nickel metal hydride, and the solar cell is not connected. So this blob chip will think that it's in darkness. So if it's in darkness, it should be active. I'm going to put in that battery, and then I'm going to go press this button. And are the LEDs lighting? And the answer is no. I'm not sure. Now I'm thinking it really was a lithium cell, which is not good. I'm going to crank up the voltage a little bit there. 2.5 volts on the cell, 50 milliamps. Okay. So I think this was actually a lithium device, and I think the battery itself is protected, and that's why this isn't responding. I'm just wondering how much voltage could that solar cell actually generate. So let's see. I'm going to bring in the solar cell. Over here. Okay, I'm going to clip some leads to it. It's a little bit easier to work with clipped leads. There's one. And there's two. And I'm going to clip the other end. Whoops, that would be shorting it. Here we go. I set this on voltage DC. That can't be right. Wow. The solar panel is generating like nearly 6 volts. That's a lot of voltage. Now I'm almost completely sure that that was a lithium cell. Okay. So I'm at 2.39 volts on the lithium cell right now. I'm going to go up to 4 volts. And no current is flowing. I think this lithium cell is done for. Damn, that's a lot of voltage. Let's see what the open circuit current can be, like the no load current. Looks like I have up to 2 amps. I can check here. I don't think we're going to get 2 amps, but let's give it a shot. All right, put it in 2 amps. 4 milliamps. Let's see if I can bring my lights in a little bit closer. Bring it closer to this light. Oh, there we go. 8, 10 milliamps. 15, 20, 25 milliamps. I'm going to try it, my bigger studio light. 40 milliamps, maybe. Yeah, that's decent actually. It's not too bad. So even if I can't recover this device, I can at least probably reuse the solar panel. I go up to 4 point something volts here. I don't know. I don't think that lithium cell is any good because I'm at 4.2 volts right now and no current is flowing. Might be getting warm too. I'm aborting. I think I'm aborting. Okay, so let's check that out. Here is my lithium battery. Now that we know it's lithium, switch this into volts range. And got the crocodile clips here. Got black on black and red on red. This was just charging at 4 volts. Yeah, I wasn't taking any current at 4 volts. I think this cell is completely dead. Well, that's interesting because I did want to set it up and use it, but now I'm not even sure what I can do with it. Well, if you have an idea to repurpose this device, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, that's 1.36 volts on the lithium cell. I don't think this lithium cell is protected, but on top of that, it's a little bit bowed, and if I squish it, we get a little bit more voltage out of it. Yeah, maybe I won't play with that too much. Maybe it's time to discharge this thing. Okay, that's good to know though. That is a single cell lithium battery. So over here what are we going to do with this? Well, we can light the LEDs at least. But now I'm not sure. I guess the LEDs would run on like 4-ish volts. So maybe I can give this circuit the 4-ish volts of a lithium cell. So that's kind of what I have here. I have 4.2 volts limited at a couple milliamps. Maybe I'll raise the current limit to about half an amp, 500 milliamps. Let's see if that's enough. Okay, so 4.2 volts here. Oh, the LED's just lit. Huh. You know, maybe I could even install an 18650 in here. But here's the LEDs, and if I'm not mistaken, to make it go brighter, you have to make noise. Doesn't seem to be working. Let's see if we can switch it on again. No, it's just sort of moderately bright. I'm going to give it a few minutes here and see if it shuts off if I shut up. It's been a few minutes and it is still on, and it's drawing about 280 milliamps at 4.2 volts. So really, I don't think a lithium cell of this size would have had any chance to actually keep that on all night, which is why I thought it had that noise option. Maybe the noise option's when it's... Nope. What the heck are they doing with this microphone then? Oh well. Nobody knows. So I guess that's it then. I guess I'm not quite sure what to do with this. And wouldn't you know, right after my outro, it turned off. What ridiculousness is this? And there we go. So it is sound activated. So I'm going to let it go off again and see what happens. Okay, it's switched off again. Now I can let you know that it is drawing about 7 milliamps. So it could stay at this state, which is not very bright, all night. But the point is, I wanted something that would turn on when someone walks by, but you need to be pretty freaking loud for it to turn on. So it's not quite what I was looking for, not quite what I thought it was advertised as. And so it should work, but I think that it's just better to use this housing for another project. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching.